Hello, guest. My name is Yogesh Alavadi. I'm head of product management and solution engineering for Alert Enterprise. In this series, we're going to be covering how easy it is to migrate from your legacy PIAM solution to Alert Enterprise Guardian system. Um, there have been questions in the past where we have seen customer has some doubts that how the data would be migrated, what would be the strategy, what would be my disruption in service. So we are trying to cover and answer all of those questions in the very short webinar. And thank you for your time for attending today. So the first question will come up is why Alert Enterprise? Why not any other company? And what we emphasize on the fact that we are not a product company, we are a platform company. So we have a security convergence platform which span across IT system, physical security system, and building and operational technology system. We have more than 250 out of the box connections available, which gives a unified comprehensive view of identities, assets, building, and events. We have proven success stories in all verticals. For many Fortune 100, 500 customers are referenceable customers. They are using us globally for many years. We have a very strong and established customer success program. With that program, we take care of our customer right from the implementation to the go live and post production. And we have more than 99% customer retention rate. The TCO with Alert Enterprise always remain at the lowest level compared to what you see in the market. There's so much configurations available, highly configurable workflows, screens, notifications, policy, logic, everything. So it's all UI driven and it keeps your TCO very low. And natively, we have a cloud deployment. You can use our cloud, which is on AWS, or we have customers who want to use our application as an on-prem or deployed on their cloud. So the same product can be used anywhere the way you want it to be deployed without any loss in functionality. And we are in this security space for about 25 years combined with our cyber security initiative and then now physical security with Alert Enterprise. So there's so much value in this brand, and you will see that how we have gone live. We have managing our customer for many years. This is our 14th year with Alert Enterprise, and then we have many referenceable stories. So next question which comes up with how this technology is better, as I emphasize on fact in the last slide, is the platform is the differentiator, and this platform has and plug and play integrations which can be added and removed anytime without changing anything in the platform. And this bi-directional integration with this so many systems out there, and then the data normalization on top of it will give you unified identity store. You can also call it identity orchestration, which is bringing data from multiple sources. Now you can find out if Yogesh is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 HR ID with yogesh.alavadi as a Active Directory account with 5, 4, 6, 7 as a badge ID in access control system. And with the group access, AD groups or physical security access, training information, background check information, all are coming at the same place, And then you can ability to pick and choose use cases. So you can define that. So say today you have a need for access reviews and certification. That's your immediate need. You can start those kind of use cases. And then you can see the value in hire to retire automation for building access. If you feel that would be your use case to go after, you can start there. So it's like a microservices framework where you can enable these use cases the way you want it, and you can create a roadmap with the product. And another area is when you go between the use cases like employee or contractor use cases versus visitors use cases versus access reviews or intelligence kind of use cases, machine learning. The experience is very seamless because all are powered by the same platform, right? So machine learning and data enrichment based on that is again part of the platform, which is helping all the use cases around employee scenarios, contractors, visitors, insider threat monitoring. So that's again part of the core platform. So how we plan an implementation approach. I mean, what is the best way where we can say that it's a minimum disruption in service so that you can easily migrate to Guardian PIM. And at the same time, you can define a roadmap where there is no ambiguity in the delivery, so that if two systems are running in parallel, everybody need to know that how those will behave operationally. So if you see a certain bullet point, the way we will do it, we're going to do it as a parallel deployment with your existing systems. We are not touching any existing system. Let it do whatever it's doing. We create a parallel system, and then we have an out of the box use cases comes with the product. And that out of the box use cases are, we call it industry content pack. So let's say if we are talking hire to retire automation, new hire, badge issuance, automated role-based access assignment, or machine learning driven suggestions. And then we have a transfers cases, terminations cases, where we have a transfer review get triggered, and termination, immediate revocation of access. So this is all pretty much pre-built configurations. We can just fine tune it, or the self-service might be another set of configurations, or access reviews could be another set of configurations. So what we're going to do is we will create a parallel system. We will load the system with the industry standard content pack, and then we can fine tune this configuration based on your need. And then that's how we explain you the best practices, how the industry use it, and then we can fine tune those. And we can define a rollout plan. Let's say we can say, let's start with temporary worker or contractor vendor management, or we can start with periodic access reviews and audit. So this parallel system can be configured with a separate set of use cases, and then it can talk to the same system. But slowly, when you see the value, when you see this portion goes live, you can add more use cases, self-service or approval or visitor management if you don't have any system for visitors. So AlertEnterprise comes with visitor management software as well. We have a insider threat and risk mitigation, where the same data can be used for insider threat scenarios. So there's so many different use cases which we can achieve, and then we will start showing you the value by bringing this system up, and slowly, gradually start using this system, and eventually we'll just plug the old system out and bring the new system in. So that's how we feel that it will be minimum disruption in service. And at the same time, you can also define your rollout strategy, where you can say, let's roll out with region A, B, and C first with this specific use cases. And then once those go live, we can roll it out to the rest of the region. So plenty of opportunities and options there. And we can work with your team, we can work with your operations and plan the change management. So all those things will be taken care of by our project management teams. And obviously, when we talk about data migration, the next thing comes up is what is your data migration strategy? How we plan the data to be migrated on this new system or a parallel system. So rather seeing data as a whole big entity, we can divide data into smaller pieces. And that smaller pieces could be, as you can see on the screen, one part of the data is a master data, where you have notion of buildings, you have visitor lobbies configured, you may have badge types configured, formats, badge templates, or maybe some drop down for departments and cardholder types. So that master data is easy. It's not dynamic. So we can export from the old system or import here, or we have a import export utility. You can upload any kind of CSV file or database import. We can bring in that data. The other kind of data is cardholder data, where we have employees, contractor, their profile information, their badge or access information, which is right now they're having. And that we can directly pull through our automatic sync jobs. And that will come from HR for a source of truth system. Then we can match it up with physical access control system, or one or multiple, and then create a unified identity profile. So we don't need to connect with your existing PIAM to pull in that kind of information. The third type of data is access and clearance data as a list. So as we have direct integration with physical access control system, we will directly pull in that data. through our sync jobs. And then if you have owners and approvers defined somewhere, we can just upload that file into the system once we sync in the access and clearance. So then once you define owners as an approver, you can just further maintain from AlertEnterprise Guardian system. So that way also for this kind of data, we don't need to technically connect with your existing PIM platform. If the second column we see on the screen is the badge events and alarm data, that will again, since we have an automated connection, we will directly get it from your physical access control system. It will automated sync job will just keep syncing that data. Even if you want to go back in history, we can get it directly from access control. So again, putting the emphasis at the point that PIM integration with existing platform is not needed. For the reports and dashboard, you may have created certain reports or for your audit or some custom reporting. So AlertEnterprise comes with the reporting engine and dashboarding engine by itself. It is SQL based engine. And our professional services team, when we do this migration project, they will actually see your current output and they will create the same report for you in this platform. So you don't need to really worry about if you lose any reports or specific charts or dashboards. So that will be taken care from our project team while they are going live. And the last piece which is left is on the right-hand side on the screen, you see transactional data, which is request history, who made that request for certain access, who approved that request and what time, or maybe when the review completed in Q3 last year. More of a transactional, that who and when requests were raised, when were approved. So for that kind of data, what we can do is if your team is looking for audit, we can directly tap into your database through our reporting engine. And we can create some additional reports in AlertEnterprise platform based on the data which is stored as part of your existing PIM system. So there will be a new set of reports for the data which we are managing, and there will be another set of report for the data which is coming from your old. So we can create a cutover date kind of stuff. And let's say all the data which is Q2 2022 and before is in transactional data, which is in a separate set of report we'll create and tie back to the same data. So we'll keep your audit intact, we'll keep your data intact, and then we'll just create one platform to access the old transactional audit data or the new data. So that's how we feel that we really don't need to migrate anything from your existing PIM system. If we follow this strategy, we will get this new system up and running. And at the same time, the data will be managed the way we have explained it here. So this will all be taken care during the migration project. There is one more question comes up is, what do you do for data quality monitoring while you're doing migration? So let's say we have 4 duplicate cardholder profile created with the different access data, or you may have some account which do not have any mapping created with the identity source or HR system, or there are so many old deactivated cards out there in the system. So usually we see customer express the interest that can we also clean up as we are doing this migration? So the answer is yes. We have a data monitoring and correction as part of our reconciliation or sync processes. That recon engine, it will bring data, and then we have a way to push that data to a staging area. And that staging area is not your actual area, but it's a temporary storage where you can visualize this data. And then we have a policy and correlation on top of it, which can find out if some profiles are duplicate, which can find out if some cardholder profile is not matching with HR record. It can find out all old badges which are not being used and deactivated in the system. So with those policy, we can correct the data in the staging area, and then you can review that. If you feel this is comfortable, with the click of a button, we will push it or sync it into AlertEnterprise system. So that's how we make sure that when we are doing this migration, we are also syncing in or correcting the data, which you may not be able to do it manually. And system with AI, we have a use case where what if the card holder having the different names, but they have the same picture? Maybe Michael and Mike both are same people, but they're the different names. So we have a machine learning which can also detect the face and see if the same cardholder profile, if the picture is there on the profile. So there are many multiple ways to find out those kind of records and clean it up. And we'll happy to share details once we start these projects. So again, a very good opportunity for you to clean up your data while you're doing this migration. So how exactly we will do this? How much time it may take? I mean, that's obviously the next question would be. And I have put together a sample timelines that how and which stages it's gonna go. The step number one would be we will deploy out of the box use cases. We are calling it content pack in the cloud for you. And then you can start seeing, okay, how the new system will look like, how the use cases will, since it will be already pre-configured with out of the box scenarios. I'm pretty sure your 80 to 90% of the needs will be fulfilled with that specific instance itself. Obviously, we will have to change notifications or some policy rules, but on a high level, it will cover all more than 80% of your use cases. So it will be up and running in 2 weeks or less. And then we will start doing the demo. We will start saying that, okay, let's see the demo of, let's see hire to retire scenarios. How does it look? Let's see access review scenarios. Let's see self-service. We will start showing you and we will expect you to provide some feedback. I mean, if you have any current state document, that will also be very, very helpful at this time so that we can match it up in upfront before even we go to a demo with you. And then we will say, okay, we will show you hire to retire automation, let's say, and you'll say these 5 feedbacks are there. We will incorporate in our system. We'll do the demo again, kind of an iterative cycle. We'll go through everything. And the best part would be you are visualizing it. You are giving feedback on the thing which will look like in future. So you're not just giving feedback on a piece of paper or a diagram which we created a workflow on the paper. So this will be real system walkthrough, feedback, incorporation, demo again, just to make sure that everything looks good and you provide your sign-offs. And then we will do an end-to-end testing, and that time we will integrate with your environment. So step number 1 and 2, we really don't need to integrate anywhere. It can be a standalone system and we can do everything in parallel activity. But step number 3, we want to integrate with your system in scope so that we can do end-to-end testing with you. We show your team looks, say it's good, looking good, which may take 4 to 8 weeks of time depending upon your schedule, because not everybody is available at all the times. And we may need to fine tune some things. So we keep some buffer in place. So take again 4 to 8 weeks in the testing and fine tuning. And then the next would be training, how we create a change management plan, training your users, creating a training material for your end user. So we'll give all those PPTs. We also have links on the screen where they can click and see how this new functionality works. So plenty of things. So we'll help you out. We will also validate the data just to make sure that we will be dealing with the right data in the production environment. So that's a very important point there. It may take 4 to 6 weeks depending upon your current state. And then we can plan for a phased rollout where we can say, let's go live with this region 1, 2 first, and then 3, 4 later. And we can just keep enabling use cases and rolling out to different territories and regions. So we can take care of warranties as well around the same time, where our project team will monitor the production environment. And then if something comes up, they need to fine tune anything. So they will take care of all those stuff. We will also onboard you in our customer success or support portal, where 24/7 access to support tickets, and the team would be there to help you out. So in summary, if you see here, 3 to 6 months from the best case to worst case scenario, we feel it may take depending upon your current state and network and all that stuff. But the minimum disruption of service, data quality mapping, and data migration, as we discussed the strategy, all of those things will be taken care. I wanted to put across this slide where we have um, to show you how we are services and support organizations are situated. So we call it a customer success program, where we have a global services and customer success teams, which is directly reporting under our executive management with CEO and COO. And we have two separate gray boxes, which you are seeing, which is project deliveries and mission control. So these both the teams reports under same vertical. And the advantage of this is, let's say we have a relationship manager established, and the relationship manager is helping to execute that migration project. And then once you have gone live, the same relationship manager will continue to help you throughout as long as you are current or on our contracts. And you will have access to the support portal, dev operations, mission control. So there are no separate teams which start getting engaged when you go live. The same management team, same relationship manager, and the teams are working under the same management will be helping you out throughout your contract cycle. And then we have a project teams which take care of projects, obviously, which is part of it. So I thought of sharing this slide will help you that how well we are organized from the customer success perspective, and then we are making sure that our customer is always taken care, irrespective of the cycle or the situation they are in. That was the last slide for my presentation. We will be having another webinar very soon, which is around the best practices deployment for global deliveries. Please look out this space for that information as well. And I hope you liked this webinar. And if you would have any question, you can reach out to us at info@alertenterprise.com, or you can also fill up an inquiry form on our website, which is alertenterprise.com. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.